right, Book. Take me from the beginning, dog. You a cat from Ardmore, Oklahoma. How was it growing up, man?
Man, it's cool. Just small town basically. Like I mean, most small towns in Oklahoma, everybody know everybody. My whole family still lived there, so it's.
Rudy.
But it was love my upbringing because you was taught respect. I mean, you don't get things that way now, but it was you taught. You go to somebody's house, you go into somebody's house, you speak to them. My mom and daddy talking to somebody grown, you don't button their conversation,
That's
little
right.
things like that, and it was just blessed, man. It's just because everybody there, I mean, mostly loves everybody, and it was just real tight knit town. Sports is one of the top sports in football, basketball, track. We won so many. I lost state track championships. It's I mean, it's like I said, sports wise, it's good too because it's when you grow up, you want to be Ardmore Tigers. So it's the expectations because you see your uncle, your aunts, your cousins, you see them playing on Friday nights, Tuesday nights, whatever, basketball, football, whatever. So it's like, I want to be out there. I want to do that. I want to experience that. And then it's expectations from people who not even your family.
Right.
Like
Set
when they yeah, because it's people around town. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So it's expectations. So is you got to live up to that.
I feel it. Now, see, not everybody strives in situations like that. A lot of
No.
times, people want to kind of walk their own path, and they don't want pressure put on them.
Yeah.
Would you say that you responded well to that?
I feel like I did because, I mean, in football we were so good. Football, my freshman year, I think we went to state semifinals, and then my junior year we had, my freshman year I think we had 2 or 3 D1 cats.
Right.
We still should have won it that year. Roy Roberts went to University of Tulsa, got injured, and then that kind of derailed us. And then my junior year in football, we had Jermaine and me, my cousin. Quarterback was good. We had a couple of linemen, went Division I, Division II. So, and I think that whole senior class had like 10 cats who played college football. So we lost in the semis. I think we had some injuries, but it's expectations. Like,
Right.
you lived up to it. You was expected to win.
Exactly.
And even in basketball is really down there. It's
Right.
really sick.
Was it king down there? if you
It's
had to pick
really
one?
king because I think we went to the state tournament. We went to state tournament for like 15 out of the last 17 years. And I know lately they ain't been, but like 15 out of the last 17 years. So it's expectations. Like, it don't matter what you do. Even though you're not winning, it's like you got to get to the state tournament.
Yeah.
And so it's, hey, no matter what happens to the season, hey, once it comes playoff time, y'all boys better be in gear.
I like that. Now,
You know.
you mentioned football and basketball. Which one of them did you get into first? Like, what was your first love?
Basketball.
Okay.
Because when my mom and dad used to take me to the Y all the time, and that's all I used to have was basketball. And then I played baseball. So I think I played baseball. I started playing baseball and basketball in first grade,
Yeah.
maybe even kindergarten.
So we talking 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah. So football, I didn't start messing with till I think I played flag football 4th grade, and I played tackle football like 5th grade.
There you go.
So it was actually baseball and basketball, which I did for the longest before anything,
Right.
before I even touched the pigskin. And so it was just, I was always dribbling at basketball, shooting. Then my dad he made us a goal outside, so it was you shooting that thing, you just messing around with stuff, watch stuff you watch on TV.
Absolutely.
You
It sounds like you was an outdoor kid too.
Oh yeah. Then I had, have a couple friends come over, go ride bikes. I hate my grandparents live in the country. I hated the country though for some reason. I don't know why, because the animals, the bugs, all that. I don't know why I hated the country, but
So you was a small town city kid.
yeah, because and that's weird because now I like going to the country. Now I'm older. When I was younger, I don't know. It was
Didn't necessarily appreciate it.
nah, not at all. Because like you said, the animals, and then you looking, no telling what's on the ground. You can't see what's on the ground.
Look
Like
at
the
you.
grass is high.
Right.
You don't know what's in the grass. It might be a snake or something.
No, that's for real. But it's a trip how we grow into things like over time. We be able to appreciate certain stuff that we didn't necessarily appreciate back when we were young, when we really should have. But
Yeah.
that's just kind of the way it goes down.
For sure.
Now you talked a little bit about your high school journey as it pertains to athletics. But I remember seeing you when we were growing up. We're the same age,
Yeah.
and you were playing AAU basketball
Yeah.
as well. Now, how rough was that getting connected to that space? You know, being in Ardmore, which is somewhere kind of off the beaten path. Like it's way down there, and the nearest metro area is what? Oklahoma City, which is like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
How was that?
Man, it was a blessing actually. Blessing in disguise. So what happened was, started off, I played with this AAU team from Ardmore, and I think about 6th grade, this team called Nexus.
I remember Nexus, man.
Nexus.
Y'all used to beat us a little bit, man.
So I got on with them. So, and that was me, Blake, Ryan Broyles, Emmanuel Wilson, Heath McKay, Justin Schaefer, Matt Bill. I know I'm missing somebody. And then so I started playing with them. And we went to AAU Nationals. And then I started playing well with them. And then the Panthers, Oklahoma City Panthers.
They were really keen.
Yeah. And so that was the best team in Oklahoma. So they started talking to me. So then I started playing with them. And so then it was, I think our 7th grade year, we go to, was it Memphis? It was Memphis, I think so.
Yeah, 7th grade going into 8th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade year.
Yep.
Yeah, we go to Memphis, and we play 5th in the AAU Nationals. And I'm the tallest person on the team. Maybe I might have one person taller than me. So it was just a blessing to be able to. Somehow somebody found me, because otherwise I wouldn't have been doing it. And so, like I said, then from there on, I started playing. I played with Athletes first. Then I played with this team called Urban Kings. So I started playing with all city teams, and that started back in the 6th grade. And I just, like I said, it was a blessing because my parents, like with the Panthers, that started. I played with them 7th and 8th grade. We practiced Tuesday and Thursday, at Midwest City Jarman.
Right.
And so
that's twice a week,
That's twice a week. So, and then I would have baseball sometimes too. Probably like Monday, Wednesday, because I think baseball season was still going on back then. And so my dad works in Norman, so my mom would take me up to practice every day. Well, not every time we have practice. And then, you get home 11 o'clock, 11:30. Practice be so dang hard because that gym would be so hot.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, what is it about the summer where they just turn the AC off?
Yeah, and it was, you practice, it was 7:30. It was hard. We got that 90 minutes, got in, got out, you drenched. Like I said, then we go home. It's time for school next morning. Like you said, you get home 11:30. Shoot, it don't matter. You got to get your butt up because it's time to go to school in the morning. And it was just, I was grateful for that situation, man.
And I'm glad you said that because I can tell by the way you're speaking about it, you wouldn't have it any other way.
No.
And I guess where I would go with that is like today it's a different time.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I guess it's not super long ago. We're really talking about maybe 15 years back.
Yeah.
But what would you say is different nowadays when it comes to the concept of, hey, you're taking too much time from these kids. They need to be kids, or maybe you don't need to force feed them sports. Because were you forced to play, or did you find all of this on your own?
Man, I did it by myself, I feel like. And I don't know, because I feel like our parents would, like, if you're going to do it, we're going to do it.
Right.
Don't get out there and half you know what it. But it's now, and I see how some parents act now. Some parents, it's all on their kids' butts all the time. Like, you got to let them make mistakes sometimes.
Yeah.
But maybe we're different.
Maybe.
And I think that's what part of it is, because I tell people this all the time, these kids that we have now, and was it 2019, are different than the kids from 2019.
And that's just 4 years.
Just 4 or 5 years. These kids, their kids are different.
True that.
And so I think we wanted it, maybe, and you can say we wanted it more, but it wasn't like, hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Maybe it was expected out of us and we just did it anyways, but it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't no complaining about it when it was time to do it.
That's true.
No matter the hard work or anything about it,
It was love. And one thing I say to my athletes all the time, I'm like, listen, I don't know y'all's financial situation,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure most of you are not in a position to where your folks can just write a check and send you to school for 4 years.
Yeah.
So you might need this more than what you think.
Yeah.
So you gotta, gotta save mom and daddy some money when it's time to go to school.
Yeah, and that's another, you try to tell them, like, hit me up anytime you get to the gym, get somewhere, get there. But like, if as a coach I'm putting time into it, you need to put time in.
For sure. It's for
and some kids don't get that. I don't know why.
Man, it's a process. All right, now transitioning from high school into your college, what was your college experience like, man? Because that's a conversation we haven't ever had, man. When and where did you go to school?
I went to NEO I got up there August, what's it, 07, I guess?
Yeah, that's when we graduated.
07,
right?
yeah. August 07, played a year and a half, and I left in January, I guess it would be 09,
Right.
and went to UCO to play. Finished out, I think I played 2.5 UCO. I finished it out, I forgot, whatever it was. It was a journey because my senior year, was my senior year or my junior year in high school, I forgot. I broke my left foot, I think so. And so my whole senior year, I won't say basketball, even the football season, I really wasn't even fully healthy.
Right.
Because
Forced
I actually,
yourself,
because I actually broke it at Gasso.
True that. Love the tournament, by the way.
Yeah, that's my favorite tournament.
Yeah, man.
Gasso going into my senior year. And so we went to Vegas like the next 2 weeks. And I was the doctor put the screw in my foot. He was like, you'll be okay. You can play. Because I'm like, I'm trying to go to Vegas because I think we playing the Nike main event, which that was the biggest tournament out there right then. And so I was like, oh, I'm trying to play. So then one of the doctors found out and then told my football coach. The football coach was like, oh, you got this, got that. So you don't need to play. You don't need to play in that tournament. So I'm like, all right.
So you listened to him.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
you sure you wanted to play, but how did it feel though? Were you in some pain?
I shouldn't have played.
I got you.
Because I was walking around. When I walked around it hurt. But
But you still gonna go for it?
Yeah. And so like I said, I played my whole senior year football and basketball, but I felt like I wasn't even fully 100% on it. I felt like I didn't have my speed or nothing like that. Then by the time I got to NEO freshman year, I played a little bit, and then I started to feel better, a lot better on it. Like started to get my speed back, started to get strength back in it. Then spring football, I think 2 or 3 days before spring practice, I break the other one. And so
can't catch a break.
No, I can't catch a break. And so then like I said, I end up playing sophomore year, NEO, and it was just. Then I go to, I played my 2 years at NEO, so I got to move on. And so I ended up playing the next 2 at UCO, and it went all right, but it just felt like I was never the same.
Right. Do you think it hindered some potential opportunities, like I guess for more playing time?
I feel like it did. I mean, like I said, I got to play both there. Probably not as much as I wanted to, but I felt like I was never the same. Strength wise, speed wise, or anything. I felt like I was never the same.
I got you.
And it was just like, in me, I was gonna finish it out no matter what.
Yeah, you got to push through.
I'm gonna finish it out. I'm not gonna quit on this.
Nah.
I'm gonna play these 3-4 years. I'm gonna finish this out. Just say I did. Just say I did it.
Now nobody can pull your card and say you quit.
No, exactly. And it was hard. Like it's so hard too because, and that's the one thing. Like conditioning wise, football, you don't get no time off.
True that.
Because it's weights, it's this. And NEO, I swear they was doing some legal stuff, but because we work out twice a day. Yeah, we work out twice a day sometimes in off season. I'm like, come on. But then, I mean, that's when you become really close to people.
True that.
Because they struggle the same way you are. Because they tired, sore, and all this, and they going through the same workouts you going through. So that just makes you close with people, and it's like, man, it sucks so bad. And it's
Y'all in this battle together, though.
Yeah.
Now going from NEO to hopping up basically 2 levels, going to NCAA Division II.
Yeah.
How much different was the workload in terms of preparation from JUCO to Division II?
Man,
university style.
I felt like it was easier because they had the NCAA regulations.
Okay, so they took less of your time.
So they took a lot of time, but I feel like it took less time. And it was. Hey, if you're gonna be in here, you gotta be here a certain time. You're gonna be here an hour, and so it was like, man, we're there. It felt like we was doing stuff all the time, And I was a tight end,
Right.
but so I felt like it's also with the offensive linemen all the time. I felt like the offensive linemen we did stuff all the time, even at UCO. But the thing about it was, offensive linemen at UCO might have been the toughest group.
Okay.
You know, they might have been. I mean, in my opinion, it's
Of course, I was going to say somebody might. I'm pretty sure the
Yeah.
defense might push back on that.
yeah.
Right?
And even at NEO, I'll tell you, even at NEO, even at NEO, I feel like the offensive line was the best group. You know, they were the toughest group, and they worked so much.
True that.
And I was, you know, and like I said, UCLA, they worked so much, and it was a mentality. The line, both my line coaches were tough, nosed cats, hard nosed.
It takes some getting used to.
Yeah, and then I mean they'll cut you out in a minute.
I feel it.
Yeah, they'll cut you out in a minute, but they'll pat you right in the back, like let's go.
They show you some love.
You know, and that's what made it, because that's what made it. You know, made it better. You know, but.
Here's the question I always like to ask college athletes, because I'm assuming that at some point you got recruited, or you had a sit down like this one right here, talking to the coaches.
Yeah.
Right. At what point, when you got into the program, did they show you that other side? Because I'm pretty sure they weren't all up in you whenever y'all are having a conversation. But then when you put that coach hat on, when did you get to see the other side where it's like, oh snap, it's real?
First practice. That's funny you mentioned that. It's like when you read some of these kids are saying, like when they're talking on these recruiting websites or whatever, it's funny when they say, oh, this coach is cool, that coach is cool, and you look at it, you're like, come on, like, yeah, they cool, like, come on, they cool right now.
Now they're supposed to be.
Yeah, they're supposed to be cool, like,
in here.
yeah, like, but I'm like, come on, man, like, I'm like, you got it. I'm like, yeah, they're cool right now, but wait till you sign your name on that paper, you know, and some of them still show you love. Some of them are still genuine, but some of them are on your butt the whole time.
Right.
And I know some people, you know, you want somebody to push you, but you want somebody to show you some love too. You know,
on the way get that balance.
Yeah, you gotta have that balance, and that's just funny thing to me is, like I said, it's the first practice. You like,
He cutting up early.
Yeah, it's 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And you hear him like screaming like, oh, this for real now. It's for real. He's calling you this and that out your name.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. Did you have a moment where you had to check yourself and be like, all right, now, this may not have been exactly what I was anticipating, but I got to get my mind right to deal with it? Or were you straight from the jump?
Man, what's so crazy about me, if I go back now, I'd probably do it more. I hated lifting.
Okay.
See, I hated lifting. See, like 2 days, all that didn't bother me, because I prepared myself in the summer by running.
I feel it.
So
conditioning wise, you were straight.
Conditioning wise, all that stuff, I was straight. Even when it's time to pass on, I felt like I was straight. But when it was time to hit that weight room, oh man, that's the part I hate. Like,
now, did you just hate it, or were you not very strong? Is that why you hated it?
I think it was part of both.
All right, you just had some natural strength, man.
Yeah, I wasn't very strong at first, and then it was just like, it felt so hard to me. Like everything we was doing, like, man, this is hard. And then you go, especially the first couple of days, that's the worst part of weightlifting, that first couple of days. Then you're just sore, your back hurt, feel like you can't get up. But then you don't realize, my teammate hurt too.
I love that. I love it.
You don't realize that because you're just so worried about yourself. You know, you're so worried about yourself. I'm sore, I'm this, I'm that. And then it's like, man, this sucks. This sucks.
Well, you know what? They say misery loves company, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, like in a weird way, a part of what got me through, similar to what you said, is like to know I'm not the only one suffering.
Yeah.
Like this sucks for me, or it sucks for you too.
Yeah.
Bet we together.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this happen.
Yeah.
And we're gonna push through for as long as it lasts.
Yeah.
And with that approach, a lot of times, like I feel like with work, you don't have to like your coworkers, but it helps though.
Yeah.
When you actually like the people you gotta go to battle with, it makes the grind more enjoyable, man.
Yeah.
Now, but transitioning out of your college career as an athlete, at what point did you know you wanted to get into education as far as your life after and wanted to coach?
Probably like, I want to say my junior year at UCO, probably.
Okay. It just kind of clicked.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you know, because I've always loved sports.
Yeah.
I've been around sports my whole life, so it's like, man, I kind of want to do something like this. I kind of want to coach, because not everybody can make it to the NFL. We all have NFL, NBA dreams.
No question.
But then, you know, we all can't make it, so it's like, I still want to stay around sports, you know?
In some capacity.
And then fast forward to now, it's like, I can't see myself working a regular 9-to-5 job.
True that.
Like that's hard for me. I don't know. I feel like that's hard for me just to do the same thing every day.
Yeah.
And see, being around education, it's something different every day.
Oh yeah, every day is a new one.
And so you love
right.
it because you never know what you'll get from the kids.
That's a fact.
You never know what you'll get from the kids. Whether you have to, hey man, what's wrong?
You gotta be ready for whatever.
Yeah, you gotta be. You never know what you'll get from them. Whether they're having a rough time at home, whether they might be acting up at school today, whether their girlfriend broke up, their boyfriend broke up with them.
True.
And so it's something new every day. So it's, hey, what's gonna happen today at work? Instead of the regular 9 to 5, where it's the same thing every day.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something else. Not every career gets 3 months vacation.
Oh, for sure.
So we definitely got to take that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's something else I want to throw at you: coaching and teaching. All right, because for a while I used to think that those two things were totally different, but the longer I'm in it, the more I see how those go hand in hand and they're intertwined.
Yeah.
Can you think of some things that you use in the classroom that you also take out on the court or on the field when you're coaching, and vice versa? Some stuff you use while you're coaching that also works in the classroom whenever you're teaching. Because I know me, sometimes like when I'm in the classroom, I got to go to that tone.
Yeah.
That coaching tone to let folks know it's not a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then other times when I'm on the court, like if you got a player that's underdeveloped, okay, I may have to turn the volume down, and I'm gonna teach you as opposed to coach you till you learn.
Yeah, that's funny that mention that. It's funny you mention that because sometimes you do have to change your voice.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you like say in a classroom, you can even say this on the court. You say, hey, you scream at a kid. I'm in the gym, so I scream at a kid way down there.
Right.
And then he's talking to me, he or she's talking to me, and I see their face. It's like, dang, maybe I should have did that. Maybe they didn't, maybe they didn't really know what they,
True.
And so it's like, sometimes you gotta change, like, dang. So then you start to feel bad. But then it's also, on the other hand, it's like, okay, maybe they jerking my chain.
Yeah.
Maybe they really do know what they're doing.
That's the one you can't see coming.
And you can't, and like you said, you see them sometimes them quiet ones. You see them around the hall like, okay, this kid ain't what I thought.
Yeah, man. It's different when you see them in their element because they got personality.
Oh yeah.
But maybe it's either fear or respect or a combination of both when they're around the grown-ups.
Yeah, and it's also what I had to learn from the years. Everybody's not the same.
No.
You can't coach or talk to these kids all the same way.
That's right.
There's some kids you can get on more. You can talk to them in a certain tone of voice.
Yeah.
And the same way you can coach them. But then, some you can't. So I've had to learn that, hey, everybody's not the same way.
I guess that's where that personal relationship comes into play. Knowing who you're dealing with.
Yeah, I can get on to him or her a certain way, which I can't get on this other person to say a certain way, And so that's some stuff I had to learn throughout the years about it.
Man. Now, who gave you your first job when you got out of school and you decided you wanted to coach?
Yeah.
And you got your career started. Who got you in the door? Who'd you work for? Where were you at? Break that down for me. And which sport too?
Dusty Walden, actually.
Yeah,
Dusty
I met Dusty.
Yeah, Dusty was I forgot where he said superintendent now. I forgot where he told me. I forgot. It's a small town in southeastern Oklahoma. But he was actually my assistant coach my sophomore year in basketball in Ardmore.
Okay.
And so
had a pre-existing relationship.
Yeah. And so he went somewhere. He went to, was it Midway? I think he became the head coach at Midway.
Okay.
Like my junior or senior. So he went there. And
so we're talking basketball?
Basketball, yeah.
All right.
So he became the head basketball coach there. And so then he got a job out here at Western Heights in the admin office. I forgot what it was exactly. And so he called me, and this is when I was March of my senior year at UCO, so I'm about to graduate. They asked me, he's like, you want to try to come teach here or something? I was like, sure, sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, because everybody else is looking for jobs in admin and all that.
It's going to be a little bit of a traffic jam.
Yeah, everybody else is looking for jobs there. And so I'm like, shoot, I don't care. I'm about to be fresh out in a couple of months. I need something to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need a job somewhere. And so, I hollered at him, and it happened to work out. They had a spot available, and I actually started coaching football there.
Okay.
So my first 2 years, I did football there with Coach Ed Polly, and so I did football that first year.
Was it football only?
I know I did football,
Okay.
varsity football. Then I was a varsity assistant basketball.
Okay.
And then I don't know why I did this. I was middle school head coach,
Of
8th grade
basketball?
basketball.
Oh yeah.
So it was, man.
You were going it
So
about
that-
4 or 5 days a week. It sounds like.
Yeah, so like that whole, from like, I want to say August through March,
Yeah.
like I'm going like
Non-stop.
nonstop. So the school year went by so quick because I'm doing something all the time.
Yeah. And then spring football.
Yeah,
Cranking
well,
right
yeah.
back up on the
well,
heels
and
of
then
it.
what's so funny about that? I did track in the spring.
Oh man.
I did
Never
7th
mind.
grade. I did 7th or 8th grade track. I did that, and so like I said, I was doing basketball just to get my first job, and I was a head boys 8th grade and assistant varsity. So he brought me on, so I kind of learned the ropes with him, but it was kind of a blessing because you kind of had your own team too.
True.
You had the middle school team, so we do some of the practice, and I was kind of like, that's how I learned the ropes basically.
Absolutely.
Was I'm watching him, listening, and then, hey, I do my own thing with this, but I'm still doing the same concepts.
Sure.
I'm trying to run the same system he's running, the same defenses.
Right, laying that foundation
Yeah,
from below.
yeah, and like some of these middle schools, I wish you try to tell me these days, some of these middle schools they run stuff different than we do at the high school.
Right.
That's not how it's supposed to be.
Right.
You need to run the same systems we run,
I feel
and so
Same philosophy.
same philosophy,
And I'm a firm believer, especially when you got a young coach coming in.
Yeah.
I think it's good, obviously, for them to be an assistant. All right, you get to see how things are run. You
Yeah.
get to take some things, compare and contrast the stuff you already know, what you came in with,
Yeah.
plus what you see,
Yeah.
and then give them their own team to coach, so
Yeah.
they can kind of build their own sideline
Yeah.
personality and their
Yeah.
presence. So that's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
man. So would you say, well, obviously, outside of it being a heavy load, going 6 to 8 to 9 months a year.
Yeah.
Were you all right with that? Because you were still, 22,
I
23
was-
coming out? You had enough juice for it.
Yeah, I was 23, 24, and I remember they used to tell me this, that, hey, you better do it while you're single. You do, coach all you can while you're single. And I'm just like, I'm good right now.
Yeah.
Like, and and I think I still did it. I think I still did it my second year. I think I might have, no, I don't think I did middle school basketball, but I still did football, basketball, and track. And
You were just all high school except for track.
except for track, yep.
Okay.
And so it didn't bother me at that time,
Okay.
because it kept me going, kept me busy, and I like the coaches I was working with.
That makes it even better.
That makes it better, Sometimes things don't go away on the football field of court. They don't go in the way that you want them to, wins and losses wise. But then, you around some people you like,
True that.
they make the job better every day,
Favorite sport your favorite sport to watch is what?
Basketball.
Favorite sport to coach?
Basketball.
All right.
Yeah.
Favorite sport to play?
Basketball.
Okay, so you basketball across
Yeah.
the board.
Yeah.
And
I
that's a
don't-
trip. I mean, I'm glad you
Yeah.
said that because it's interesting because you were a college football player.
Yeah.
But you played both in high school and now
Yeah.
you coach basketball.
See, I don't know. I guess I might can say I like watching it. I take that back. I might like watching college football and the NBA the same.
I feel it.
I love watching college football.
Man, it's a different type of
It's a different. I love
type of
watching college-
excitement, man.
Yeah,
Now, if we can get some parity, some new blood, and
yeah.
as
I love watching
opposed
college. Yeah, with the traditions, the bands.
Oh, yeah.
Saturdays, all that.
For real.
I mean, now the NFL. I like watching the NFL, but with all the, you can't touch the quarterbacks. all this, all
Softening
that.
it up.
Yeah, and
I
it's
feel it.
this. You can't touch the receiver after 5 yards,
Right.
and it's like, gosh, Lee.
And I ain't gonna front. No matter how much I gripe about it, I know I'm gonna keep watching it.
Yo,
You know
for
what
sure,
I'm
for sure,
saying?
for
I know I'm
sure.
gonna keep watching
For
it.
sure.
And then whenever the NBA cranks up, because free agency been crazy.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that. I wish that started next week.
I know,
You
right?
know what I mean? So I'm just a sports
Yeah.
junkie, man, like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But okay, now, when did you finally get elevated to your role as a head coach? You know what I'm saying?
I want to say I was assistant for 2 years, and then my third year at the school. That's
Head
when
boys basketball.
That's when I finally became head boys basketball coach.
How was that, man? Was it were you nervous going into it, or excited, or was there some fear because you're sitting in a different seat now, or what was it?
A little bit of both.
All right.
I was nervous because I just wanted the team to do so, because I feel like we had a talent, But it is decided like, okay, I'm the head man, let's get things running a certain way. But I was nervous because I'm like, man, I don't want to mess up anything. I feel
that. I feel that. Now, were there some differences that you saw immediately from being a head coach after being an assistant? Because I know as an assistant, like, it's some stuff, having been there before, we miss out on, we don't even have to deal with because we're not the face of the program. We can just handle the stuff behind the scenes, player development stuff. We don't really touch paperwork much, and the parent interaction is not as heavy as it is being a head coach. Like, I know I touched on some of them, but what are some of those differences that you notice? Like, yo, I got to deal with this now?
Yeah, I think that's one of the first things is the paperwork.
Yeah.
You got to deal with the physicals, all this, making sure a kid has this, has that, and you don't realize that. But when you're like, you have freshmen through seniors, that's a lot of stuff to deal with.
True that.
You're like, and you don't really, in the 80s coming to you now for different things. Mm-hmm. Or, and it's like, man, like, what?
It's a trip, man.
And then you're like, I didn't know we're supposed to do this. Yeah, you're supposed to do this.
Yeah.
But then you're like, okay. Or then, like you said, parents come and talk to you now.
Now you're over here in Putnam City West, all right? You're working under Coach Lenny Burke, state championship coach, proven, decorated program there. Y'all are in contention every year in terms of being one of the best teams in 6A with a chance to compete for a title. I want to ask you two things. Number one, how has your experience been here thus far? And number two, did you have to check your ego at the door a little bit, going from an assistant to a head coach, and then going from a head coach back to assistant somebody? How's that transition been?
It was real hard at first.
Yeah. We all like to do our thing certain ways.
It was real hard, and it was just. I think one of the hard things was coaching the kids was because Coach Burke gets on to the kids. Coach Burke gets on the kids.
Oh yeah, he gets up in them.
And so you don't need me getting on the kids too.
Two bad cops.
Yeah, you don't need two bad cops. So I think that was the hardest thing for me was to, like, trying to adjust to that role. Was, you need to be the good cop. Because it's both of us on him. That kid's not gonna respond well.
Well, was that something that Coach Burke had to say to you, or something that you figured out just from sitting back and seeing?
I had to figure it out myself.
Okay.
And I think he even mentioned it like later on, like I could, and it was just as the year went on, I became more comfortable because it's you sit back and look at things and then I think you sit back like, man, I don't want to step on his toes or anything. I don't want to say nothing.
Right.
So then as it became more and more comfortable as the year went on, you get in his ear, this and that, I think the team started doing better, but it's because I came more comfortable. And then we had Coach Rod come over here this year too. Man. So Coach Burke,
old school.
Yeah, so Coach Burke is trying to teach us, but his system, both of us. And so the first freaking to December, we're kind of struggling as a team.
Yeah.
And so then I think once we both got comfortable with the situation, like he's telling us do this, tell us do that, or whatever, it was no conflict. It wasn't no conflict.
True.
It was just trying to get used to the situation.
Yeah. Now, when you say y'all struggled, are you talking about the team in terms of wins and losses?
Yeah.
Did you get off to a slow start?
Yeah. Well, what's so bad about it, we do good. We do good in Duncanville at the Hoop Fest. We beat Justin Northwest. We got a kid going to OSU. Mm-hmm. Then we beat Trinity Christian, I think. So we got a kid going to Texas A&M. And then I think we start off 3. I think we're number 1. Then we hit a wall. Yeah. We lose to PCO. Then we lose 2 games in Florida.
Right.
Then 2 games to turn into champions. We're like 7-6 or 7-5 or something.
Right. Just over 500.
Just over 500. And so then, it was just a struggle.
Yeah.
And then
peaks and valleys of a season. Man.
Yeah. And then somehow, like I said, coach staff started to get, more comfortable with the situation. Then kids started playing. Seemed like kids started playing better. Stop worrying about little things and just start playing. Don't worry about us. Go play.
Can you think of a game that y'all played that you can look back to now and be like, okay, this is the turning point. This was the turning point right here where we knew that, okay, now we're getting ready to make a push.
I want to say Dale City.
Okay.
The game before that,
that a regular season game or tournament?
It was a regular season game.
Okay.
The game before that, we played Heritage Hall.
Right.
And Heritage Hall puts it on us.
Tough team. That's a good program. Man.
Yeah, Heritage Hall puts it on us, and it was just a frustrating game. I think Rondell had gotten in foul trouble. You know, we were frustrated with officiating. All that. So then we played Dale City. Dale City was 2 behind Tulsa Memorial. I think Dale City only had lost 1 game maybe at the time, maybe 2. And we go over there, and I think we're down by 5 or 6 halftime. End up coming back, end up winning by 7 points. And that's one of the best. I feel like that's one of the best teams. Dale City's one of the best teams in the state, regardless of class.
Right.
They had some cats that could go.
Yeah, I got to see him in the state tournament.
Yeah.
They got some dogs now.
And so I felt like, even though that was January 15th, I felt like that got us going.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't remember how many games did we lose after. I think maybe 1 or 2 games after that, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I remember us losing.
Right.
I don't even remember who we lost to.
Yeah, so see, I picked up some steam and got ready for that push. Huh?
Yeah, and so we made that push early. January, like I said, I want to say January 15th.
Right.
We made that push early, and season just felt like it turned around after that win.
I feel it.
Like the kids started getting going, got that monkey off their back, started playing well. Ball started going in the net more often.
Man, everything gets easier when you hit the shots, man.
Yeah.
Now everybody's in a stance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And pulling the shorts up, ready to sit
Yeah.
down and guard. That's big.
Yeah.
Now, was this your first year coaching in the state tournament this past season?
This was my first year.
How was that experience?
Man, it was so cool, man. It was so exciting. It sucks because we lost.
Yeah.
When we're
Everybody wants to end on the win.
yeah. Well, it sucks. Well, nothing sucks, Aaron, is the way you lose.
Yeah.
When I want to say we're up by 5.
Yeah, I watched it.
We're up 5, 3 minutes left, and it's state champion now.
Yeah. Playing against Booker T.
Yeah, and we felt like we were a better team.
I got you.
We're up 5. Game plan, Coach had a great game plan.
True.
Game plan, work to a T. We're right where we want to be.
Right.
It was so weird. You put us in that situation, and for that whole second half, ever since that Dale City game.
True.
In the second half, we played better than we do first half.
Mm-hmm.
Our second half to last from January 15th on to March. Our second halves,
Pretty good.
we're dominating teams,
Right.
and so hey, this our half. We're gonna pull away like we always do.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple of mistakes, a couple of turnovers. Bryce hits a shot or something, Seth gets a rebound, put back.
Yeah.
Seth, we had a tough time with Seth.
Yeah, he was on the board something serious.
Yeah, and what sucks so bad though is, like, once again, you tell me that day before the game we hold Bryce to 16 points. I think Bryce had 16, 17.
Yeah. He had under 20, I believe.
Yeah,
Could be.
Trey Phipps only had 6 points. Trey Phipps had 6 points, and so you tell us that.
You think that's a win?
That's a 15-point win, right? But
maybe on paper it could look that way.
yeah, but we didn't expect Seth to have 20 and 10 on,
Right.
And so, but
he got the type of 20 and 10 that you get without one play drawn up for you.
No,
Just straight dirty work.
Yep. But no, it was like I said, it was exciting, man. The crowds, but both teams packed the gym, and it was what a state tournament atmosphere should be like.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Like
and it was at one of those sub sites too.
Oh,
It was
for sure.
Tucson. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's so weird. People don't believe this. I say the first game is the best when it's at
State quarterfinals?
I say that's the best game.
When it's not at the Mabee Center.
Yeah, when it's not the Mabee Center, because it's so loud in those high school gyms.
Yeah.
Even when we was playing, it's the same way.
No doubt.
You
got to get that, man.
Yeah.
And it sounds like there are a lot more people in there than there may actually be.
Right.
But you need it though. As a competitor, you feed on that.
Yeah, and it's so funny because you watch the game, the kids are just going up, and I watched the game before you. The kids are like, hey man, slow down.
Yeah, man.
Kids, both
That's
teams are
the
just
deal.
going up in the first.
Yo, you exhaust so much energy in those first couple of possessions just from pure adrenaline and excitement. And so that first dead ball, where it's a stoppage in play.
Yeah.
All right, now take me through the off season because we're at the end of the summer now, and I've seen you guys. I've seen y'all's team in 2 team camps. You've been at Oklahoma Christian. You've been at Oklahoma State. What type of team do you guys anticipate having this coming season?
I think we're going to be really. I'm a coach here, so you're gonna be like,
For
oh,
sure.
he said that.
Hey, man.
But I think we're gonna be. I mean, one of the top 4 best teams in the state.
Top 3. Now you project top 3 or 4 in the beginning of the season, or you talking
Yeah.
about going? Okay.
Oh, but I honestly expect us to be there at the end.
Well, you should.
Yeah, and it's because I think I think those kids are gonna have that bad taste in their mouth. And then I think they have that bad taste in their mouth, and I think we're gonna have some. We lost a kid. We're gonna have some kids step up.
Right.
Then we got a big man. We got a big who wants the body inside.
I got to see him a little bit in
Yeah.
the summer, man.
And he
Now,
wants
is he
to.
getting ready to be a sophomore or junior?
He's gonna be a sophomore.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But see, he's one of those big kids that nobody has now.
True that.
He wants to play inside. He doesn't want to stand out here on the perimeter and shoot threes and dribble all this.
True.
So he's gonna help us from rebounding, getting putbacks, this and that. But then we got Day. Day can shoot the ball.
True that.
And Day's gonna help us. We got a Madre, who's comes off the bench, defensive stopper. Elijah James, who's gonna be a year old, who was a freshman last year, who started games for us.
Right.
And then we got people sleep on. We got MJ.
Is he slept on for real?
He really is slept on.
'Cause I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Whenever I think about you guys' squad, he's the first name that comes to my mind.
What's so weird? What's so weird though? People don't mention him like they should.
Okay.
You're
not getting his just due.
He really isn't. And I'm on Twitter, which is just like you are,
For sure.
and like Creed is,
Yeah.
and people they talk about all these names around the state. I'm like, why don't they even mention MJ?
Leaving somebody out, huh?
Yeah, why don't they ever mention him? And he's in that gym every day.
Sure.
He's one of those cats that puts in the work.
Right.
And I've always, I don't know, maybe I'm more particular in him because he's one of my kids, but it's like, I always feel like people don't mention him like they should.
And I always wondered, do the kids, do they pay attention to that as much as we do?
Yeah.
Like, hey man, you
Yeah.
see all of your contemporaries and your
Yeah.
counterparts getting all this love.
Yeah.
Do you see your name in here anywhere?
Yeah.
And then they'll say,
Yeah.
no. Like, well, does it matter to you?
Yeah.
Because I know it matters to us because
Yeah.
we definitely trying to put them on the map.
Yeah.
And another thing I think about is like, okay, maybe is it better for them to be underdogs?
Yeah.
To keep that fire burning, or would you
Yeah.
rather have your name all everywhere and then you start to get that
Yeah.
nose wide open a little bit?
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Slippery slope.
And that's what we try to tell him because I know he's a little frustrated by not the lack of offers. We just gotta tell him, hey man, keep working, keep putting your grunt. I'm like somebody gonna pull the trigger.
For sure.
And that's what I've told some coaches. I'm like, I'm like nobody's pulled the trigger on him yet. I'm like, you might have you pull the trigger. You might have a bit. You'd be the first one to pull the trigger. You might.
Yeah, you might have them.
You might have them, but that's what you try. And that's what we try to tell them though. Is like, man, you can't worry about it. Just use the motivation, and then
Control what you can
control what you control. And like I was saying, I think we're gonna be one of the top 1 or 2, 3, led by MJ and Rondell. I think if those two play like they should and lead this team like they should, we should be right back there. Because they got that, like I said, they got that bad taste in their mouth. And then Rondell they just lost Peach Jam,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah. Sure.
they should have won Peach Jam.
So they got added motivation.
Yeah, so and so it should be motivation off that too,
And great exposure along the way too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what they probably don't notice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though they're falling short on some of the quests,
Yeah.
and that burns as a competitor, but
Yeah.
people are watching, man.
Yeah.
People are watching.
Yeah.
And all it takes is one good game in front of
For
the
sure.
right coach, and you mess around.
Like the what's the name story? The John Moran story.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It sounds like he came out of nowhere, but he's been working for a long time.
Yeah. When the coach finds him in coach against something to eat and finds him in the back gym, stuff. Kids don't recognize that though.
Needle in a haystack, brother.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man. Here's how we're gonna close it, because you've been super gracious with your time. I call this little segment with all due disrespect. All right, so I want to take you down memory lane a little bit. So what I want to ask you is during your days as a competitor, whether it's in high school, we can go back as far as middle school, however far back you want to go, or college, and you're competing against a particular player who may have gotten the best of you, and you just know in your bones that cat can't mess with you, but he got you on that particular day. So whether it's a particular player or if it's a team that you lost to that you knew you should have beat, who we talking about?
We lost to Shawnee my senior year in the area game to go to the state.
So we talking basketball now.
Basketball, yeah. And we beat them by 20 2 weeks before that. And
It's the law of averages.
yeah, we beat them by 22 weeks before that, I think so. And I still feel like we're a better team. I mean, some things didn't go our way that game, and you get a call here, a call there.
Right.
Then they get a bucket, and it's like, oh shoot.
Man.
And I mean, then I go back to then I can go to football my junior year. Bixby wasn't better than us.
Yeah, they got y'all though. Huh?
You know,
Did they beat y'all in the playoffs?
Yeah, they beat us in the playoffs. Yeah, and Chris Harris, my boy, you know, but they shouldn't have beat us. So them two for sure.
I got you. Man, I gotta add to that because you named the school and a player who got me. Because Bixby, our senior year, they beat us, and I played at Tulsa Central. And we were coming off of a state championship the year before, and we're in the area. And I'll be damned, man. Chris Harris and Ronnie Neal, they pretty much two-manned us and beat us in the area finals. Yeah. So they got to the state tournament. But we weren't out of it though. We had to, play that Saturday back against the wall. So we got in the back way. Yeah. But then we ended up playing Capitol Hill first round on that rough side of the bracket.
Oh, sure.
And it was over, man.
Yeah.
And I still feel like today, they can't beat us, man. They shouldn't beat us. I love you, Chris and Ronnie, but come on, man. They shouldn't beat us at all. But anyway, it ain't about me. And now I want to ask you the same thing as a coach. In your career, whether it was as an assistant or as a head coach, you run across a team that got y'all, and you still believe to this day that if y'all ran it back, y'all would air them out.
Man, my time at Western Heights, I felt like Guthrie got us a lot. Guthrie, like it was. My time at Western Heights, I felt. Matter of fact, they beat us in the playoffs.
Got you. Did y'all ever get them though?
Yeah, yeah, we got them, but
should have got more.
They got us like 3 or 4 times, and my second year there, they beat us in regionals.
The first round?
First round of regionals.
Oh, the home gotta go home now.
And we went. They were, I think they were 11 seed, and we were 6 seed, I guess so. It was so funny. We were playing at Piedmont. Yeah. They end up beating us by 2 or 3 points. But it seemed like their kids play every time and that was sucked because I felt like we had a really good team that year. Right. Like we could have probably went to state, you know, and it was Guthrie. Yeah. Guthrie plays everybody tough, but they seem like they play our kids even tougher. And so it was.
If I'm honest, man, thinking back to my time when I was at Piedmont, I really feel like you guys' teams were similar. And I don't mean any disrespect on that, but I'm like the type of team that's tricky.
Yeah.
Like on paper, you're supposed to beat them. Yeah. But they may come in and shoot the lights out and you in a dogfight.
But that's the thing I hate about. I hate watching film on them or anything because sometimes they're very misleading. I'm like, man, what's going on? And then when you get them out there playing, I'm like, hold on, this kid wasn't doing this when I'm watching the film. Right. Like, so it's like, oh my God.
Looks like you didn't prepare.
Yeah. I'm like, come on.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Book, appreciate you, my brother.
Oh, for sure.
Been more than gracious, man.
Sure.
Always good to chop game with you.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to seeing big things from the PC West Pats this year, brother. I'm going to be watching them and I'm going to be in touch.
Okay, for sure.
No doubt.
Appreciate it.